has been sent to plunder the hive. Your job just as simple. Avenge the dead. Stop him from stealing the dark.
Hello everybody, and that voice that you just heard was Variks himself telling us what we're gonna have to do in this strike. This is the brand new strike coming to the House of Wolves DLC, and it is called the Shadow Thief. So I'm not gonna be showing you all of the strike, I'm just gonna be talking to you about what exactly it is, what the story is behind this strike, and showing you the parts that I thought were particularly cool or were important to the story of this strike overall. So in this strike, you will be hunting Taniks, who is trying to steal from the hive. He's trying to steal the darkness, I think. Maybe he's trying to steal something that we don't want him to steal. So what we are doing is we are infiltrating, and we are gonna stop Taniks from stealing from the hive by killing the hive on the way. So the way that the strike kind of starts is that you're fighting the hive to begin with because you're going into the Temple of Crota. Eventually, after you fight through the hive, you're gonna come into contact with both hive and fallen, and you will have this battle where you first get to see Taniks himself. So you actually get to see Taniks, the strike boss that you are fighting, very early on in the strike, and he makes appearances all the way throughout. So that's pretty different to a lot of the other strikes that we've had in Destiny. We actually get to see the dude really early, and we get to have encounters with him and his House of Wolves peoples throughout the strike. We don't just see him at the end. So as you can see, at the moment we are fighting the Fallen within the Temple of Crota. And also something that is really cool about this strike is that it doesn't just take place in one location. You actually get to board Taniks' ship, which is really awesome, and the way that it happens is really awesome as well. You guys will see that very soon. So you're fighting the Fallen in the Temple of Crota, and then eventually Taniks himself will pop out, and he is holding a Scorch Cannon. If you guys missed what the Scorch Cannon is, in the Prison of Elders gameplay that I uploaded, you can see me using the Scorch Cannon. It's something that belongs to the Fallen, obviously, and when we get it, it has like 10 bullets in it, and we can use that to fight our enemies with. In this strike, you are actually going to have a little bit of a play around with the Scorch Cannon, but it only drops right at the end when you kill Taniks.
Taniks has called you out, Guardian. You are challenged in the ways of old. Taniks is jamming our comms. Fight well, Guardian. Fight for honor.
Another super cool thing that I want to point out about the House of Wolves that isn't specific to this strike, but you got to see it just there, because we have Variks on our side, who is our bro. He's awesome. He has a cool pirate croaky voice. He can actually translate what the Fallen are saying to us. So I've always loved the way that Fallen sound. Fallen are definitely my favorite aliens. They're super cool. They sound super cool. They look super cool. All of their armor is super cool. They're just super freaking cool. And now we can actually understand what they are saying to us because Variks will translate it for us. So as you can see now, we are on the actual ship. We teleported up, we followed him into his ship. And this is where we're gonna have a second encounter with Taniks himself. And of course, you're also gonna be fighting the regular Fallen that you see and the captains. Fun little fact, Taniks' full name is Taniks the Scarred, and if you look closely, you'll notice that his arms are actually robotic arms. Now, Fallen are not robots, they're not robotic aliens. Rest of the Fallen, all of the other Fallen guys have regular arms, whereas Taniks the Scarred has robot arms. Now that just really makes me interested to know what the hell did Taniks do to make him have his arms chopped off and then get the robotic arms. My guess would be that he kind of gave in to this cyber world where he wanted to have super awesome power, so he got rid of his arms to get robotic arms to make him more powerful. That's my guess, but we will find out when we are able to read the Grimoire card when we do this strike. After you complete that little room, which is a really tiny room to fight a boss in, you will go ahead and go into the slightly larger room, but still not that big because at the end of the day, you are still on a ship, so it's not gonna be a super large space. And in this space, you have to fight a walker tank. It's definitely the smallest area that you've had to fight a walker tank. Usually you come into contact with them in public events when it's just in the middle of nowhere, or you'll fight it in some strikes, and again, it's in the middle of nowhere. Whereas in this strike, you have to fight it in a very, very small room. Small to be fighting a tank. So that was really cool. It was really awesome seeing everyone's reaction when the walker tank jumped down and they're like, oh my god, why is there a tank in here? So I think you guys are gonna really enjoy that. It makes it a little bit more intense that you're having to fight these big crazy things in such a confined area. After taking down the walker tank and all of the enemies that accompanied it, you will go into a very small hallway where you will get to see Taniks again. And this is crazy. How often do you get into a tiny, tiny hallway where you're fighting a boss? I really like the way that this strike has been done, where you're just hunting him down, you're following through his ship, you get on his ship, you're like, what's up, fight me? And then you have to fight this tank in a small room, and then you're in a small little hallway fighting Taniks. It's just really, really fun. It's definitely one of the more fun strikes that I've had the opportunity to play. So after you go into the small ass hallway and try and take down some of Tanik's health, he will eventually teleport away once again, and you are back on the hunt to hunt you down some Taniks. After walking a short distance down this hallway, you will reach the final room where you will have your final encounter with Taniks the Scarred. You will notice as you walk in, it turns to kill Taniks instead of simply hunt Taniks. So now is your time to put the hurtin' down. So this final encounter is pretty simple. Nothing crazy really happens. The only thing that you have to deal with Taniks doing is, of course, he has an AoE attack because he's a strike boss and all bosses have AoE attacks. And he's fallen, so he's gonna be teleporting. All of the fallen bosses teleport along with the captains. But you, of course, don't just have to keep fighting Taniks. You're gonna have all of the other fallen running in there, trying to get in on the action and take you down. But once you do take him down, he's gonna drop the Scorch Cannon that he's been using throughout the entire strike, and you have a tiny little window that you can pick it up and have a little bit of a play around with it.
Notorious mercenary dead. No small matter. You will be rewarded treasure from the Queen, and my respect as well.
So with Tarek's dead, you have completed your objective and the strike is over. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see the lore behind this thing, and I'll speak to you guys later. Bye.